Today's top stories and your weather forecast in the first 8 minutes. Now on 8 News at 11.
Central Virginia hunkering down, the Commonwealth under a state of emergency.
The warning from every single state and emergency official tonight is stay home. The roads are freezing with snow piling on top.
We thank you for joining us. The snowstorm that is the biggest so far this winter underway right now.
And major school systems in the area have already decided to close for tomorrow. That includes Richmond, Chesterfield, Henrico, Hanover, and Petersburg. You'll see the full list of closings, late openings, and delays running down there at the bottom of your screen.
We have coverage on tonight's winter weather everywhere with a team of meteorologists and reporters stationed all over town.
Before we check in with those live crews, let's find out what's happening right now with the storm.
Katie and John have been tracking it all night. What's the very latest, guys?
Well, we continue to have snow, sometimes moderate across central Virginia, but we're already seeing some changes to the west of us.
Yeah, it's starting to break down. We're seeing holes, some drier air moving on in. So while some of us are still seeing some moderate snow falling, others are seeing some breaks in the activity.
That's especially over the western part of the viewing area where you see it really starting to lighten up in areas to the west of US 15 down from, shall we say, Palmyra down through Buckingham almost to Farmville. Farmville, I reported a little while ago, about 7 inches of snow there. But what's happening is while it will still snow for a few hours longer, this pattern is breaking up a little bit. There's another little band that's going to come in out of Kentucky to move in about 2 to 3 hours for you here. But we're starting to see this breaking down now across the area. And I think really we probably have 3, maybe 4 hours of accumulating snow left here in the Metro Richmond area. That would be enough to probably give us 1.5 inches to 2 inches more from what you already have outside. Most places seeing a widespread 4+ inches of snow. Again, here's the map now. By later tonight, it's gone and out of the way. And when it's all said and done, probably 6 to isolated amounts near 10 inches of snow, places such as Farmville, and 3 to 6 inches down to the south, with sleet mixing in along the Virginia-North Carolina border.
Thank you, John. The 8 News Storm Tracker app can help get you through this weather with live radar, alerts, and up-to-the-minute forecasts. Be sure to follow us as well on Facebook and on Twitter.
Take a look at this video now, a reminder of just how treacherous road conditions can get. Our 8 News crew witnessed this car went up in flames on I-95 tonight.
It's unclear how the weather was related to what happened, but this fire shut down southbound lanes of I-95 for some time. Drivers were forced to brake unexpectedly and wait for the scene to clear. 8 News reporter Tim Rocca was not far from that fire. He has more on the accident itself and efforts to keep roads clear tonight. Tim?
Well, Juan, Christina, we've been out here at the Bryant Park overpass all night. That was probably the most excitement we saw, and I would actually like to say that's probably the silver lining on this whole snowstorm, because it's been pretty quiet. Take a look out here onto I-95. Other than this little burst of cars you've seen right now, it's actually been relatively quiet. We haven't seen a whole lot of people out, which means that they are heeding those warnings, and that is certainly good to hear, but it was certainly quite the scene earlier today. Come back over here now, actually. I want to show you some of the accumulations that we have had here. Right now, we are looking at about 5 inches. I think I just moved some of it with my feet. So probably, well, that's the wrong side of the stick, but I can minus there. Okay, it's about 4 inches that we have there. Now, getting back to that accident that I talked about earlier, that was just one of many incidents that VDOT and state police crews were taking a look at throughout the duration of this storm. Now, VDOT earlier told me today they have all their crews out on 12-hour shifts. They have everyone monitoring this from their command center, where they are taking a look at areas that need to be plowed, where they need to get road rangers out to assist motorists that are on the side of the road. They're going to continue that throughout the night, and of course, they're monitoring this storm just like the rest of us are. Now, I also want to point out that for the first time tonight, I am fully clothed. I'm wearing gloves and a hat. So thank you to everyone who tweeted me and asked if I was warm enough. I am warm enough now, but happy to be out here covering this for you. I'm going to pass over now to Parker Slaybaugh, who is driving, and he has more on our 8 News coverage.
Tim, I'm glad you're staying warm out there. Definitely warm and toasty inside of our car as we're driving on Powhite Parkway North, coming down on the downtown expressway. If you take a look out the front windshield, you can see the snowflakes still coming down, and check out that road, still snow covered. And the fact of it is, snowplows just came past us not too long ago, but it'd be hard to even tell. Those VDOT workers are definitely working hard. But this snow has proven to be a very hefty challenger. As soon as they pass, give it a half hour or more, and the roads are already starting to see accumulations back on those roads. But also the good news is these roads for the most part, are empty. People heeding the warnings to stay off. Now take a look at this video from earlier this afternoon. This is a car, several cars that we witnessed that lost control on various roads in the area and spun out, hit guardrails, hit the retainer walls, or were just stuck in a ditch. We had the chance to speak with one of those drivers and just a good Samaritan who wanted to help.
Riding along, wasn't even going that fast, and very slowly had to push on the brakes, and car just kind of lost control. Did a spin and ended up backwards facing that way.
I'm in the Army, that's what I do. I think it's the right thing to do, is helping people out when they're in difficult situations.
A lot of folks on the roads, from just Samaritans to VDOT to state police, all trying to help out folks who need it. But these roads are going to continue to deteriorate overnight into tomorrow's morning rush hour. But for now, live on Powhite Parkway, Parker Slabaugh, 8 News. Juan, back to you.
All righty, thank you very much, Parker. As Parker mentioned, accidents out there. State police have been busy. Between just 4 p.m. and 8 p.m., they tell us they fielded 901 calls for service. Troopers responded to 380 accidents and 191 disabled vehicles. Some injuries have been reported, but fortunately, no fatalities at this hour.
And at Richmond, snow emergency routes are now off limits to parking, but we still found people parked on those roadways, including sections of Broad, Carey, and even Franklin streets. Now, signs are posted along these roadways, and authorities say they will be towing. For a full list of where you are not allowed to park in Richmond, you can head to our website, WRIC.com.
Thanks, Katie. Of course, all this snow, the talk of the town for a lot of different reasons. We found folks strolling along Broad Street, some who think this is really nothing to worry about.
They scoff at me, no question. They scoff at me. It's laughter right there, because they're used to it. I mean, the first winter I was in Boston, it snowed like 6 inches every Tuesday for 5 Tuesdays straight. So it's like, this is just nothing. You know, it's passing. It's all good.
Why are you wearing shorts?
Sometimes I'm not a very smart man and don't plan for the weather. But I'm going to get home and put something warm on.
Probably a good idea. Others out there grabbing groceries, getting ready to stay inside tomorrow.
Maybe a little bit of macho there with the shorts. VCU students have been celebrating tomorrow's canceled classes with sledding, but they had to improvise their gear. Here's 8 News reporter Mark Tenya.
Well, there weren't a lot of people out on the streets tonight, but for the few that did decide to venture out, some of them said they wanted to take advantage of the snowy conditions while they were here.
Because we have school off, so we're taking advantage of it because we don't get school off a lot.
Sean McCrone and his friends decided they wanted to go sledding tonight as the snow continued to fall in Richmond. But none of them have sleds, so the group decided to improvise, not wanting to waste the opportunity.
We're using a trash can lid. I think that's a mud flap.
Yeah, I got a mud flap over here.
And I found this in the basement. I don't really know what it is, but it looks like it's good for sledding.
The modes of transportation varying from normal household items to boxes, and then there was this.
Best vehicle of transportation down these icy slopes. Just kind of sitting there.
The group saying the cold temps, not enough to keep them from enjoying the snow.
Not too much. I mean, you get used to it once you're outside.
Yeah, we've been outside long.
Deciding that even though school is out, they'd still conduct an informal experiment to see which of these flies the fastest. In Richmond, Mark Tenya, 8 News.
Oh, that's ingenious. For the latest school closings, delays, and road conditions where you live tomorrow, tune into Good Morning Richmond starting at 4 a.m. They're cranking things up a half hour early. Morgan, Amanda, Darielle, Matt, and Tim have everything you need to know for a snowy day ahead.
In other news tonight, happening right now in West Virginia, a fire set off by a train derailment still burning. That train was carrying more than 100 tankers of crude oil when it derailed, sending a massive fireball into the air. 8 News has learned the train was traveling from North Dakota to Yorktown, Virginia. At least one tanker fell into the Kanawha River. That accident also sparked a house fire. Hundreds of residents were evacuated. About 200 people tonight are in shelters.
The cars were exploding, and it was a considerable amount of fire. We could see it from a mile away.
West Virginia's governor has declared a state of emergency in the 2 counties impacted by that crash.
Take a look at a local news crew covering the snowstorm. They nearly become the story themselves. Watch this car slide all the way across the lanes. More of the video when we come back. John? Nate?
And the snow continues to fall here in Short Pump. Businesses already plowing and digging out. We'll have a live report straight ahead, plus an update on the KitKat-O-meter. Stay with us.
All right, and after the snow, we're going to talk about some bitterly cold temperatures for Central Virginia. Potentially some of the coldest air we've seen in almost 30 years. All that and more coming up right after we claim the Mega KitKat bar for the weather department.
You're watching 8 News at 11, covering the news where you live.
Stay with us. Juan and I are back after the break, but first, here's Jimmy.
You're watching 8 News at 11 on WRIC.
You stayed up way too late. Turn your jammies inside out. Did a snow dance. Did a snow dance.
That's fantastic. You heard it right there. Clever way to announce a school closing coming from Providence Elementary School. This is in Chesterfield. The teacher's posting this on YouTube with the caption, "This song goes out to all of our awesome students and staff at Providence Elementary. Enjoy your snow day. School is closed." We're going to be hearing that in our dreams tonight. I know they had so much fun. They're so cute. They're dancing, having a good time. And you know, the kids and the teachers and the staff, maybe some of the parents too, love to see that as well.
You know that things are good in Chesterfield County and in Richmond when there's not even a lot of snow on the ground and they cancel school.
And they're out there and they got the snowman going.
The little moves and everything.
That was really cute. Let's go to Katie now for more.
And now a close call for a reporter at our sister station in Hampton. Now the crew was covering dangerous driving conditions that we have here, but an SUV just barely missed their camera by inches. And of course, a reminder, if you are out on the roads, please be careful. John?
Oh, yes, that's going to be the situation tomorrow morning here across Central Virginia and what's going on outside. So those of you who do need to go to work in the morning, definitely give extra time and allow a lot of space between you and the guy in front of you. All right, here's the storm system working its way towards us here. The actual center of the storm is located down just about northeast of Atlanta as it stands right now. Now, right in front of this warm front covering much of North Carolina, they're getting ice. They are getting one nasty ice storm going on down there from Charlotte all the way up to Raleigh. It's a mess for them. We've got a few hours left of the accumulating snow. What's going to happen as we get towards 3 to 5 a.m. Yeah, I think it'll still be snowing out here, but it's light to where it's only going to be like adding a little frosting on top of the cupcake for us here. But some of the big areas just west of the mountains, when you got into Kentucky, getting 16 to maybe 18 inches of snow. A couple reports of 17 inches of snow. Then behind, well, there's a blast of cold air happening. Here's what's going on the regional radar. Again, look at all this. The Carolinas. Oh, that is a mess. And some of it getting up in southern Virginia. And then we've got the snow over us here, but notice the gap opening up over the western part of the state. And a couple of pockets where it gets a little heavier. I think we'll get a break, and then the snow will pick up for a little bit, but it may not be as accumulating over us here. Already starting up towards the Beaver Dam area, down through Powhatan towards Farmville, where it's becoming this really light blue color, that sky blue color. That's where it's tapering off to where it's still snowing, but just not accumulating that much out there. Still for at least another hour or so for us here. We're going to have snow come down at a rate of ½ an inch to an inch per hour. Then behind it, it's going to become more spotty as we go through the overnight hours. And you can see how it kind of breaks up as we head back to the west. Starting to reload a little bit west, as you can see, of the mountains. But that's going to keep things a little unsettled for us. This will all be out of the way come tomorrow morning. 17 degrees outside for us right now. These temperatures cold enough to where those chemicals don't work very well on the roads. Tomorrow, the snow's going to be gone, but it's going to be chilly as things clear up a little bit. 32 degrees. Again, the weather where you live tomorrow starts off with some light snow. We may get back to just about freezing. This system goes on out of the way as we head through Tuesday. Take you Tuesday night. Generally, partly cloudy skies over us down in the mid-teens again. Another disturbance coming in as we head into Wednesday. That may bring a couple of snow showers here Wednesday afternoon, and then after that, that's what we have coming. That's what the model's predicting for Friday. Don't think it's going to get that low. I'm going to go with 1 degree for the low temperature on Friday as it stands right now. But if we were to hit -6, that would be the coldest temperature recorded in Richmond since Ronald Reagan's second inauguration in January 1985. Definitely some cold weather after this snow.
Oh my gosh. All right. Thank you, John. Well, many of you have been sharing your snow pictures with us all day, and we have loved seeing them.
It's the best part of our snow coverage. 8 News anchor Carrie O'Brien's and now with a look at some of those pics that have come into our newsroom. Carrie?
Some of you got to have a little fun with the snow. Grayson here did some sledding today, and it looks like he'll probably get a chance to do a little more tomorrow. because take a look at how much snow has come down over the area. This is Beaver Pond in Amelia. Thank you, Teresa, for sending that photo in. And check out these photos. Justin Best used his drone to capture aerial shots of the snow as it began to fall over Midlothian near Hull Street and Route 288. And look at this beautiful photo of Smith Point Marina in Reedville. That's in the northern neck. No one boating in that ice out there today. And here at 8 News, we always enjoy those pet pics. Zippy the cat is in her sweater and ready to brave the snow. Holly is already bundled up and stepped out into the snow. And thank you, Kim Gregory, for this adorable pic of your snow puppy. Remember to keep sending those photos in to us. Just email them at ireport8@wric.com. Carrie O'Brien, 8 News.
Thank you, Carrie. Thank you, viewers, for sending those in. That is a look at the James River. The skyline shrouded in clouds this evening.
Tough to see that tonight. Wow, quite a picture there. And we thank you for all the pictures that you sent to us. That was quite enjoyable. Thanks, Carrie, for putting those together for us. Stay with us. We're back in a moment. Welcome back. A live look outside right now, courtesy of VDOT's traffic cameras. VDOT, of course, if you do have to go out, urging drivers, take it very, very slowly. Drive carefully. The storm, of course, has eroded conditions. These are just a few pictures. Not many folks on the streets, which is the good news, but if you have to be out, please, please be careful.
The storm has not eroded our intrepid 8 News reporters. They've been standing outside all night, bringing you the latest. Let's go to 8 News senior reporter Nate Eaton, who's in Short Pump.
Yeah, Juan, here in Short Pump, the snow really has been coming down. In fact, where we're at along Broad Street, you can't really tell where the grass and the sidewalk and the road ends. It's all kind of one flat sheet. We have seen crews out all night long plowing the roads, putting down that de-icer. Many folks have had to come out and scrape their windows if they want to go anywhere. We took a drive down Broad Street earlier this evening, and almost all of the businesses are closed except for the Walmart and a fast food restaurant. We ran into one guy. He was let go from work early tonight because of the snow, so he decided to walk home.
I'm not a snow person, you know, maybe when I was a kid, but not so much when I'm an adult.
A lot of people say you're crazy to be out here walking it, and I guess that's just the best way to get around, right?
Pretty much. It's kind of, for me, the safest way to get around. Yeah, because I'm not trying to get in any accidents.
Yeah, that's a good point there. You can see a plow goes by here. Now, one of the fun things we've been doing tonight in Short Pump is measuring the snow with Kit Kats. Here is our final tally. Look at this. The mini bar that was here is covered. So is the regular size bar. There's a king size barely hanging on. That mega bar, only the cat remains. Half of it's there to prove to you at 5 o'clock. Look how deep this is. Dustin, can you walk up here? We've got about 4 or 5 inches of snow. There was that mini, there was the regular, that king, and then, of course, the mega bar. So it really came down tonight. Hopefully we don't have to use these ever again. We're going to take good care of them. For now, let's get the latest in Chesterfield. Claudia Rupsich is at the station. Hi, Claudia.
Nate, are you going to bring those back so we can eat some Kit Kats? I hope so. Anyway, most of us try to stay home in the warmth of our homes and don't really want to get on the streets or drive in the snow. Some people don't really have a choice, and I'm talking about delivery drivers. Now, restaurants with delivery services always bank on snow days. Piccola Italy Pizza and Subs on Main Street in the Fan is a perfect example. The manager there tells me it's been extremely busy for a Monday night, not so much from people coming in to eat, from all of those pizza deliveries all over the Richmond area. I spoke to one driver as he was heading out. He said things were looking pretty calm on the roads, but he told me he's mainly worried about other drivers out there. He just makes sure he's paying attention.
Usually just try to make sure all my windows and stuff are like fairly clear of snow and checking on corners and whatnot, seeing, just keep my eyes peeled.
That's some good advice. And while we were out there driving around, we really didn't see that many people in the Fan in some residential areas. So that's some good news right there. But the main concern right now remains the commute for overnight and tomorrow morning. And for more on that in the forecast, let's head to meteorologist Katie Dupree back in the Weather Center. Katie.
Well, thanks, Claudia. Many of us still in the thick of it. We're certainly starting to see some holes, a bit of drier air working on in, but you can see much of the area from Richmond to Flat Rock to eastern Amelia County to Blackstone, and then this line here stretching all the way back to Halifax and Danville, and then areas southeast still seeing that moderate snowfall. But if we move the map just a little bit farther to our north and west, you see some of those holes breaking through. So the last little burst of heavy snowfall likely to last a few more hours, and then we'll certainly see some snow showers continuing overnight, but the heaviest of it occurring now and then moving eastward with at least the heavy snow amounts happening currently. But yeah, well, as that done, we're still looking at likely another inch or two for many areas. Juan.
All right. Thank you very much, Katie. A live look now at I-95. Still plenty of southbound traffic there on the left-hand side, less northbound, but it's all traveling over a thick blanket of snow. During the winter storm, we want to hear from you. You can join our 8 News team by sending us your information to ireport8@wric.com. Photos, videos, story ideas, and of course, your pretty snow pet pictures.
And stay with us. We're back in just a moment.
Snow's gone quickly tomorrow morning. Enjoy getting out tomorrow and Wednesday, because after that, brutal, and I mean brutally cold weather for Thursday and Friday over the area.
All right. Thank you, John. Of course, for the latest school closings, delays, road conditions tomorrow, tune in to Good Morning Richmond starting at 4 a.m. We thank you for joining us tonight.
I'm Juan Condi.
And I'm Christina Ferrick for Katie Dupree and John Bernier. Have a good night. We'll see you tomorrow.